Hello everybody, welcome to the video, and that's right now we're going to jump right into it. We are going to review the August 9th edition of Smackdown. Not Smackdown Live, just Smackdown. I don't know if that live is ever going to get dropped away, but everyone thinks it's stupid. I think it's stupid, but it's here to stay for a while. Either way, Smackdown. It was an okay show. I actually thought it was better than Raw. The only thing I have to complain really about the show was the opening segment and the main event. It was so fucking predictable. The opening promo of the night was Bray Wyatt comes out. He's like talking about how he's Bray Wyatt. Okay, I get it. Ambrose comes out and interrupts, and then he's like, hey, I'm the champion. And then Ziggler comes out and he's like, hey, I'm the guy that doesn't like you, Ambrose, because I'm fighting you, and I don't like Wyatt because Wyatt's the heel, blah, 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 blah. Well, obviously, they get into a little scuffle. Ziggler accidentally kicks Ambrose in the face, and of course, they fight each other. And it's like, okay, we obviously know what the main event's going to be that night. We know it's going to be Ziggler teaming up with Ambrose against the Wyatts. It's Rowan and Bray Wyatt. Luke Harper's still out on injury, I guess. But, I almost expected the GM or Shane McMahon to come out during that segment and announce the main event for the night. And then I was actually almost surprised that they didn't. I was like, oh, maybe they're going somewhere else with this. Maybe this isn't the obvious, predictable thing. Come back from commercial, first thing, backstage segment, GM and Daniel Bryan and Shane McMahon are talking about the main event, and that's what it's going to be. Okay, big deal. The next segment was American Alpha versus a Job Squad. That's right, some two local talents. And if you heard anything about my rantings of late of WWE, is this whole using local talent, mulky jobber bullshit, guys. And I was like, I don't even want to watch this match. I obviously know American Alpha is going to cream these guys. However, they did do a little twist. All the other teams on SmackDown each then had a respective entrance, and they surrounded the ring watching American Alpha because, American Alpha is the number one team and all the other teams are going to be gunning for American Alpha. So it was like, everyone's on notice about American Alpha and the other teams are taking American Alpha seriously. Of course, they squashed the jobbers, which is stupid, and it was a predictable match. American Alpha wins. Yeah, got it, yada, yada, yada. And then it just kind of occurred to me, okay, 4 tag teams came out to ringside, and of those 4 tag teams, none of them could actually be in a match with American Alpha, and American Alpha can still go over, but at least show them showcasing that they're good against actual good opponents. It's like, so you have 5 tag teams on the television screen right now, and you still had to use jobbers. I mean, yeah, yay for the independent wrestling scene that these jobbers are getting TV time, and they're going to go back to their little rinky-dink promotions, and they're going to get treated by gods by all the little trainees. Trust me, I've been there before. I know how it works. But at the same time, it's like, you have 4 tag teams surrounding the ring. You use one of them, okay? Enough of this stupid jobber shit. What did that prove? What did that display about American Alpha? Wow, they can beat 2 high school wrestlers? Big fucking deal. Then there was a talk segment with Renee and The Miz, and the only reason I'm commenting on this is I thought it was funny. I really did. The Miz, he's a good heel. He doesn't have a mean streak in him, which is, it's funny because he's a great typical chicken shit heel. I like it. I just do. When I watch it, I get into it. I'm like, God damn it, I hate this guy. I fucking hate this guy, but I liked it. The next part is actually probably my favorite match of the night. It was my favorite segment of the night, and it was Becky Lynch, who's my favorite wrestler right now overall. Not this woman wrestler. Becky Lynch is my favorite wrestler. I fucking love Becky Lynch. Of course, Eva Marie was supposed to come out, and Eva Marie then had a wardrobe malfunction, and she had to go backstage, and it's okay, I get it. Eva Marie's getting heat. People don't like her, but it is what it is. And then, okay, so Becky gets on the mic, and she's like, I'm going to fight, and I want to fight somebody. Somebody else come out, right? Well, Alexa Bliss comes out, and I'm like, oh, here we go, whatever. And she cuts a stupid promo of like 5 sentences, and they're all basically, I'm this person, I'm good, I am better than you, I'm going to beat you up, I'm going to take your challenge. Go to commercial, come back. The match was actually good. I liked the match between Alexa Bliss and Becky Lynch, and I'm not just saying that because, I'm obviously a huge Becky Lynch mark. Lynch mark. But I realized that I liked Alexa Bliss in this match too because there's actually a character there. I like the fact that she's aggressive. I guess she's a heel, right? Because she's fighting Becky Lynch. But during that match, she worked aggressively. She actually had a slow-paced style. She was doing quote-unquote rest holds, but she was doing submission holds, and she was very, very aggressive against Becky Lynch. I was like, wow, I like the aggression, you know? I could believably think that Alexa Bliss could beat Becky Lynch, you know, and I was really digging that. And then Eva Marie's music started again, and she came back out, and of course the distraction with the red lights and whatnot, Becky Lynch got beaten by Alexa Bliss, and everyone's like, now we really hate Eva Marie, right? Because she cost Becky Lynch a match. But I was like, that actually hurt Alexa Bliss because Alexa Bliss was looking strong the entire match. You know, it was a good give and take match. So she was looking strong. She didn't need a distraction to beat Becky Lynch. So in a way, it's like, they could have done Eva Marie, just keep doing what they're doing with her. I don't know, get her in a different segment. But if you're going to have Alexa Bliss go over Becky Lynch and have her display that she can do it straight up, then have her do it straight up. I thought the interference was not needed, but that was actually my favorite match and my favorite segment of the whole show. Now, that's really surprising because the next segment is the two biggest superstars on SmackDown right now, overall, over, you know, the past 10, 15 years. It was Randy Orton versus Del Rio. Now, given proper build-up, that's a pay-per-view match, right? Now, usually when these matches happen on TV, you don't get a good match. Something happens, right? Now, Brock Lesnar could run in or something. This match, the only thing I have to complain about it was the announcers. For the first half of the match, all they talked about was Brock Lesnar and Randy Orton and SummerSlam. And I get it, they're trying to sell the pay-per-view, but it's like, there is a match going on inside of the ring. So do you know what I did? I turned the sound off as soon as that shit started. And this match was a good match. It was a good showcase of Alberto Del Rio showing his mixed martial arts background, which is kind of smart because you're going to be fighting Brock Lesnar at SummerSlam, Randy Orton is, right? So that was good, but it was a good match. I enjoyed it with the sound off. It was a good match. It was like over a 20-minute match. There was a commercial break in there, I get it, but it was like a 20-minute match. It was a good match. Obviously, you know, Orton went over, but he went over in a way that Alberto Del Rio didn't look necessarily weak and make Orton look too strong, but at the same time, Del Rio injured Randy Orton's arm, which is, you know, obviously once again plays in the SummerSlam, but it was a good match. I really liked the match. It was just a good, raw wrestling match, and you know, sometimes we miss seeing that on TV, and I know you're not supposed to give it away for free, but it was a good match. The only thing this match was missing was good commentary. I don't know, I turned the sound off, but obviously proper build-up, which it's just a SmackDown regular match. But here's a way and a good example right here. I mean, getting to the point about all these jobbers being used on TV, you have Randy Orton, who needs to look strong against an upcoming opponent of Brock Lesnar, right? So give him a strong opponent. And sure enough, Randy Orton comes out looking strong. He gets his arm injured. He gets hit with a chair, and he still hits an RKO out of nowhere. That made Randy Orton look strong. That's how you make somebody look strong, by having them go against somebody strong and doing something that displays strength, not just beating up a stupid jobber. Next segment of Slater and Rhino. Actually, did anyone else feel bad for Heath Slater when they watched this? I did. The promo they cut before it about how he's got his kids to feed and whatnot, and it was a running joke all throughout the night that he had 4 kids, 7 kids, 2 kids. You know, obviously he's just making up bullshit because he's still a comedic character. But his facial expressions, he's sad. This is a man that lost his job or is losing his job, you know, and he lost the Rhino. And it's like, poor Heath Slater, you know, you felt so bad for him. He's like Mikey Whipwreck. You feel bad for him. And then at the same time, you're still laughing because he cuts a huge rant on Shane McMahon and Daniel Bryan about how he doesn't need SmackDown. He's going to go home with his head held high and whatnot, and he misses out on a contract opportunity. I liked it. It was actually like an emotional roller coaster. I felt bad for Heath Slater. I mean, I had tears welling up in my eyes, and at the same time, he turned around and made me laugh again. Next match of the evening was Carmella versus Natalya. Honestly, I liked Carmella. Yes, she's riding the wave of Enzo and Cass with, NXT and Staten Island and, being a trash talker, but she screams in her matches. She screams. Now, a lot of people are like, "Oh, that sounds so shrill." One, she's a small woman. Of course, she's going to scream, but as a wrestler, I can respect this because when Natalya put her in the abdominal stretch, and then Natalya grabbed her leg and grabbed that into the stretch too, Carmella just put out this shrill of a scream, and the whole entire freaking arena, they immediately empathized with her. There was a gasp of, "Oh my God, she's in pain." That's amazing. That right there. I mean, that's really like, oh wow. I mean, excellent selling by Carmella. Just excellent selling. She sold to everyone watching at home. She sold to the kid in the front row all the way up to the rafters. And then her finisher, I thought that was a really cool finisher with the choke with her legs, and she screamed while she did it. I thought that was good. I thought it didn't make Natalya look like a retard, and it didn't make Carmella look super powerful. But it was like, wow, she's like the female version of Dolph Ziggler with this match. I mean, she's overselling, but it's working. I mean, great debut by Alexa Bliss and Carmella. I was actually really impressed to see that because this whole Divas Revolution thing died the night Dana Brooke came out and became Charlotte's protege. I mean, it was just like, and Eva Marie and all this. It's like they're really hurting the women's division. Well, the women's division is alive and well on SmackDown at least, and I really hope that they have a really good fiery tournament or storyline or something to going into the women's title. To me, that's really cool. Ambrose and Ziggler in the main event against the Wyatts. There was two things I saw in this match that I liked. Three things actually. One of them is in the crowd. Someone had a sign that says, "Give Dolph Diesel," as in AKA Dolph Ziggler trying to be Shawn Michaels. And it's like, hey, if you're going to emulate someone, you might as well emulate, the greatest wrestler to ever live. But this match made Ziggler look strong, and it made him look stronger than Ambrose. And I was like, shouldn't you be making the champion look strong? But then I realized Ziggler is there to do the job. Ziggler is a jobber. He's no different than Zack Ryder. He's no different than Natalya. He's there to get up-and-coming people over, and that's exactly what he's doing with Dean Ambrose. So in this match, he looked very, very strong. He got the last hot tag. He did some really good moves, and he's the one that won the match. While he was in the ring, he was looking stronger and working better than Dean Ambrose. And that's honestly, I think, too, has to do with the fact that Dolph Ziggler is actually a better wrestler than Dean Ambrose. Dean Ambrose, we've seen all there is to see with Dean Ambrose. I mean, the guy's been the same for the last year, and that's not going to change. You're never going to see a reinvented Dean Ambrose. You're never going to see anything more than what you see now. Dolph Ziggler, we're going to see him like Chris Jericho. We're going to see him as long as he wants to do it, as long as he can keep from getting injured. I was impressed by how strong he looked. I liked it. And I was like, in a way, that gets Ambrose over, because if Ambrose can beat a strong Dolph Ziggler at SummerSlam, which he most likely will, then it really makes Ambrose look like a good, noteworthy champion, right? So, in a way, Ziggler's doing a great favor to Dean Ambrose by even being involved at the match. And the third thing I was impressed with was Eric Rowan. I like his style in the ring. He's a big man, but he doesn't work like your stereotypical big man. And at the same time, he does spinning heel kicks and big boots up on the top rope. So that's cool to me. I mean, it's kind of like you don't expect to see a guy that obviously is supposed to look like a serial killer Ed Gein type of guy or whatever. You don't expect to see him doing some martial art in his moveset. So that was really cool to me. But I will say the main event was kind of lackluster. I think the crowd was actually behind Ziggler more. They popped for Ziggler more than they did Ambrose, because that's just the way Ziggler is. I mean, Ziggler's over. Ambrose is still fighting to get over. Yes, Ambrose is liked and well loved and whatnot, but Ziggler is a better wrestler than Dean Ambrose. He's a better worker than Dean Ambrose. He really is. No offense to Dean Ambrose. Not saying Dean Ambrose is bad. It's just that Ziggler's better. But overall, if I had to rate this SmackDown, let's see, out of 10 or something, I'd give it a 9.5 out of 10. It was a good show. It was a really good show. It was a good 2 hour show. You could watch it from start to beginning, and it was okay. There was no low points. There was no dull moments. It had 10 segments, and every segment I thought was strong or provided something. I laughed, I cried, I clenched my teeth when like someone like Alexa Bliss was firing up. So it was a good show. It was a great 2 hour show. I'm really starting to think that SmackDown might be the better show. I mean, as far as wrestling product. So let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, favorite this video, whatever it is that people do on YouTube nowadays. And don't forget to follow me on Twitter. I'm usually pretty active during WWE events. Drink your Dr. Pepper and peace out.